This is proof that nobody ever went to the moon. Here we go again. To travel to the moon, astronauts would have had to pass through the Van Allen belts. Correct. The Van Allen belt is a zone of charged particles around Earth. Yep. Well, the Van Allen belt can get up to 20,000 degrees Kelvin, which is like 35,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, sure, particles in the belt could reach that high, but the entire belt wouldn't necessarily be that temperature. The Apollo spacecraft was protected by aluminum, which has a melting point of less than 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, so if it went to the moon, it would have literally melted on the way there. Well, it depends on where in the spacecraft. The heat shield was very complex with many layers and many different materials, so this wasn't just aluminum foil wrapped around the spacecraft. So, space is still pretty much a vacuum, so even though some particles might reach an energy, a heat of 20,000 Kelvin, and that is the extreme for the belt, there aren't actually a ton of particles. What I'm saying is, while these tiny particles might be very hot, the spacecraft did not encounter them all that often, but it still traveled through those temperatures. Not really. Again, you're using the really bad extremes, and also, the Van Allen belt is a belt. You can go around the really bad parts. This is the path the Apollo astronauts took, so while they did still go through it, they avoided the really bad parts, and they were going extremely fast, so they were there for like an hour. And what about the radiation? You're saying those astronauts were totally fine? Oh, the astronauts were definitely still exposed to radiation. All astronauts in space are. It's a risk of the job. But the spacecraft did do a pretty good job at shielding them from radiation. The highest amount of radiation any astronaut on an Apollo mission received was on Apollo 14, and it was about equivalent to the amount you would get from a full-body CT scan. But still, NASA is working to make it even safer now. That is so ridiculous.